What exactly is going to happen on October 4th? What we do know is that FEMA and the FCC plan a nationwide emergency alert test for October 4th, 2023. This test will be conducted nationwide. It will be sent to our TVs, our radios, and our cell phones. This has caused some real concern among people. They would take to social media and say, turn off all your devices around 2 p.m. Eastern Time on October 4th. Then you had big media come out and say, we have been scouring the internet and social media fact-checking conspiracy theories around October 4th. This is when I start to get concerned, because whenever big media starts to do their fact-checking, there has to be a little bit of truth. We know we can't trust big media. Big media does not have the best intentions for the public. And we know we can't trust big media ever since Operation Mockingbird was declassified, where the government and the three-letter mafia that begins with a C were recruiting journalists and big media to pretty much manipulate and control how the public thinks.
Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But we are concerned about the trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
So basically, the government has big media hire people to scour the internet and social media, your post, to see if you're posting about anything that is harmful to the government's agenda. This is where you get big media like AP fact-checking posts about October 4th. That conspiracy theorists are spreading conspiracy theories about FEMA's emergency alert test and the dangers behind this test. The AP states that quote-unquote conspiracy theorists claim an emergency broadcast system test on October 4th will send a signal to cell phones nationwide in order to activate nanoparticles such as graphene oxide that has been introduced into people's bodies. The AP states this is false because next month's test of the nationwide emergency alert systems uses the same familiar audio tone that has been in use since the 1960s to broadcast warnings across the country. One can take a look at this fact check and say, well, this has been used since the 1960s and nothing has happened to us yet. There are no adverse health effects, so stop talking about it, you crazy conspiracy theorist. But the main argument is not the test itself, it's that this test will set off graphene oxide that has been placed inside our bodies due to the C-19 jab. So this fact check fails to fully fact check the claim they are trying to debunk. This is why I absolutely hate media fact checking, because they like to twist the claim, they like to twist the words to help fit their narrative of fact checking. Just like when the media were fact checking Maui, they said nobody was stopping people from leaving. The police were not blocking roads or exits. And then right under that they said the only thing they were doing was making sure people did not run over live wire, which is absolutely incorrect. And we would still think police blocking the roads in Maui is just a crazy conspiracy theory unless we did not have the camera footage. We had the receipts, and then slowly but surely those fact-checking articles about police blocking the roads in Maui started to disappear, which is no different than the fact-checking that's being done here. They're saying, well, this has been done since the 1960s, even though the claim that's being made is that these signals is going to activate whatever the C-19 jab has been put in us that has not been around since the 60s. But these fact-checking articles are saying nothing to worry about because this has been done since the 60s. You great with a hint of cherry, vanilla bleach Diet Coke drinking conspiracy theorists need to stop talking about this. What we should be talking about is Taylor Swift. Did you hear she has a new boyfriend named Travis? We need to make up a new name for them. Let's call them Tay-Tray. Oh my God. This is the big important news that the big media wants us to focus on. When is the last time you heard anything about Maui. Now look, I know there are some people watching me right now having their butt cheeks clenched, ready to report me to YouTube so I can have my channel removed or gain a strike due to bad-mouthing the jab, due to saying graphene oxide is inside the jab. And I do want to make it clear that is not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is, I don't know. I don't know if graphene oxide is inside the jab. But there was a study outlined in an FDA-released Pfizer document titled Structural and Biophysical Characterizations of SARS-CoV-2 Spike Glycoprotein as a Vaccine Antigen. So this was fact-checked by very trustworthy people, and come to find out, graphene oxide was not used in the jab. It was only used to test the structure of the jab. Sounds like a play on words, but whatever, I do not have my own lab to test the ingredients of the jab. So you may be saying, Minutes of Horror, what the hell is graphene oxide anyway? Can we please go back to talking about Tay Tray or Tray Tray or Ice Tray, whatever their names are? There are quite a few things this graphene oxide can do as soon as it starts to mutate throughout the body. It can induce cell toxicity through plasma membrane damage. It can also damage your DNA. It can turn your white blood cells against you, making a way for cancer and other diseases like this mysterious disease X that is supposed to take over the world, make it easier for it to take over your body. Don't you find it odd, right before this test, they have been loading us up with articles about this mysterious disease X. Every day, Disease X could bring the next pandemic, could end the lives of over 50 million people. Disease X could be 20 times deadlier than the C-19. The next pandemic is already coming, and it could end the lives of millions more than the C-19. Well, how do they know this next pandemic is already here? How do they know it's coming? Oh wait, I forgot, I'm not supposed to ask questions like this because I'm just a coincidence theorist. This is all just a coincidence. This mysterious disease that's going to wipe out millions that has not hit yet, but it is coming around the same time this test is supposed to go off, is all just a coincidence theory. So how do people look at this, see big media going hard fact-checking about this alarm test that's going to set off sickness inside of people, but yet on the other side of it all, big media is getting us mentally prepared for this next big disease that will happen. Make no mistake about it, they're letting us know that this has no way, shape, or form any involvement with the C-19, because they're telling us this is worse than the C-19, even though this disease is not known as disease X. Even though nobody's infected with this disease X yet, they're already letting us know how bad this disease is going to be. And since this disease X is going to be 20 to 50 times more worse than the C-19, I'm guessing our natural immunities, our white blood cells, will be no help here because they will have already been destroyed by things like graphene oxide. But I'm not saying, again, I am not saying that graphene oxide is in the jab, so please don't report me. That's not what I'm saying at all. Now, when October 4th comes and goes, there are going to be some people that will say, Minutes of Horror said I was going to drop dead on October 4th, just like with September 23rd and September 22nd. Now, you're not going to instantly drop dead once this test goes off, but what people are saying is that once these tests go off, it's going to set these graphene oxides in our body, making our immunities weaker, making us more susceptible to diseases like this disease X that seems to be right around the corner. Which they are saying, and this is the news saying this, not me, that many lives will be ended. So all you have to do is look at the correlation, look at the timing. If you believe in the science, then you have to believe in the math as well, that 2 + 2 does equal 4. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.